Sorry, guys, we lost the stream there to another fantastic software glitch, but it looks like we're back.
I believe the Reckless Traveler traded with Traveling Philosopher, and
The Snake of the Golden Grove got through for some damage.
yeah, 4 damage.
It does 4, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
4,
got
4?
right through the next turn.
So odds are Matt's at 9.
Yeah, Felix was trying to open up the board there to get through some damage, and seems to have succeeded.
And I believe that is a Chronicler of Heroes on Felix's side.
However, Felix did not have a follow-up for on his 6th turn.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's turn 7 at this point.
Yeah.
Whereas Matt seems to have a handful of gas. That's the Minotaur Skull Cleaver. Chose not to attack, said he wants it on the defense to...
Matt
It means we might have missed another combat step.
Yeah. Matt's holding a Plains in hand. And
If there was a sideways Chronicler the previous turn, we probably missed a combat step where,
we probably did.
where Matt went very low. He's quite possibly at like 2. Which suddenly makes this game seem very good for Felix.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I guess he's not at 2 if he's considering the double block, so...
Yeah, he might be somewhere in the realm of like 6 or... yeah, probably 6.
Ordering the blockers. I assume there's a coordinated assault happening here. We're assuming he has coordinated assault. That is indeed a coordinated assault.
Alright, so that's going to let his 2 creatures...
That is the only 1-mana combat trick in this deck.
Yeah.
So, that worked out.
I think there's my discussion if Chronicler of Heroes is removed from combat when targeted by...
I highly doubt that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Felix is just tanking on a response.
Alright.
Which is going to be Immortal's Resolve, keeping the snake alive. Putting out 5 power means he does get to, in fact, kill something.
Gonna get that... Wake
Getting rid of the Waycrash Titan.
Titan, yeah.
It's the card that Heroic Trigger locks stuff down. Matt does hit his 5th land and 2nd blue source, so he might be back into this very quickly. The snake does get down to... it makes him a 4/4, so we can trade with the snake now.
Yeah.
However, Felix does have 3,000 combat tricks in his deck, so we could very easily see this not exactly be the trade we think it is.
Ooh.
So he blocks Battle-Wise Valor, pumps it up.
And keeps the card on top.
Yeah,
That's
Felix
gonna be big.
stays ahead on tempo. So it's disgusting. It seems the deck that has the tempo wins this match.
Yeah.
I think... actually, I have no idea who's on the play. Should be Felix.
Matt started on the play.
Okay, thank you.
Felix?
Felix on the play? Yeah, it would seem so, because Felix had to play to X1, whereas Matt was XO and 2. Right. Thank you, Kelly, for the clarification on that. What was the follow-up there? Oh, he played a Divination into nothing.
6 land into nothing, dissolve. Hopeful Eidolon.
Assuming he's at like 4 or something. Probably has to do that, yeah.
We've seen Hopeful Eidolon splashed by many ambitious players in this PTQ.
I think it's pretty splash.
Omar insists it's quite a splashable card.
We saw him lose 2 games with it in his hand, so apparently not. Anyways, back to the game.
Maybe we're being results oriented. Who knows? All right. So Matt's gonna have to get something on board real quick, or maybe Sea God's Revenge.
It would seem that he is at something like 1.
He's
or
in
very
low
close.
single digits. Yeah.
We will keep track of it next time. Oh, hold on, waiver pause. Stop the game, guys. We got some legal documents.
Yeah.
This is so that wizards can post their deck lists online. For those of us who look at draft deck lists in our spare time. Let's not mock anybody who does, but...
I'm looking at you, Daniel.
Should I look at my own deck list? Stroke my own ego.
I guess.
I mean, I don't do that. Who does that?
Yeah, who would ever bookmark a video of them appearing on coverage or an article they wrote or whatever?
You probably did that, didn't you?
Channel 5 took my article down, actually, when they revamped their site.
Aww.
Yeah.
Do you have it still?
I do have it, but Andrew Cooper Voss had to edit it and take out like half the content because
it was bad?
I just kept talking.
I believe that. Anyways, we're back. We got a game again.
Yeah.
So let's see if Matt can escape from this predicament.
Alright.
A lot of mana rearrangement going on here.
So we got a 4-drop coming down.
This is the Felhide Spirit Binder. It's the guy who untaps and Kiki-Jiki something for 2. For Inspired Kiki-Jiki.
Inspired Kiki-Jiki.
Would you say that you're a fan of Kiki-Jiki?
When I can get into play, yes, but like 3 red mana costs, like 3 red mana symbols, it's really hard for me to wrap my head around it. Like
this is our Sun Titan 508 team captain here.
Yeah.
So unless Matt has something very good here, I'm going to assume he's probably dead. There we go.
Yeah, and there we go.
Unfortunately, the divination clearly did not give him the tools he needed to get there. So Felix is on the scoreboard for this match, leaving Matt on the play for game 2, something he definitely wants.
Okay.
And a matchup that's very heavy on the tempo.
Indeed. Let's see what the players can board in.
There's typically very little to board in these matchups. Both of their decks look very tight in terms of the number of playables they have.
Maybe there's a Shredding Winds hiding somewhere. Nope.
There's a Scouring Sands in Matt Vienneau's sideboard. That's like...
Does Charging Badger have any place in this matchup? How many ordeals?
You are obsessed with Charging Badger, sir.
What can I say?
It's possible. It's conceivable that that Matt could bring in Scouring Sands. Handles the double Cavalry Pegasus, though he didn't see a lot of X1s that game.
Yeah.
But if someone's playing Cavalry Pegasus, you can generally reason that they'd be playing additional X1s.
And imagine the value if Felix had a Loyal Pegasus and his deck goes Loyal Pegasus, Cavalry Pegasus gets blown
and then
out.
you blow that out with Scouring Sands. That's why Scouring Sands is generally good in these kinds of matchups. People like playing the Pegasi.
Or at the very least, you want one in your sideboard just so you can bring it in. And
I've had much better success with that card than you should.
really?
Yeah. It seems bad, but I find it's quite reasonable. What else does he have? That's it.
Yeah.
There's a Gainsay, and that's not coming up. There's a Coastline Chimera he could play if he intends to be on the defense, but I think this is a lot more tempo than would be, and that is not a good tempo play. We might see it regardless.
Indeed.
If he tries to take the control role, as I think he has to.
Yeah. And being on the play for game 2 will help him keep control of the game.
So what do you think of these lovely purple play mats that we have as the top 8 prize of this tournament?
I actually think they're pretty sweet. A good amount of contrast between the center art and the dark purple frame. I can't tell what it is though. Is that like a dragon getting blown up by... What card is that, Fournier? I know you know.
Well, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh card?
Yeah, it's a very clear Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's White Eyes Nyx Dragon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Much sought after card coming out of the next expansion.
Indeed. It is a 5,000, and you may only summon it by tribute. You have to tribute summon it by sacrificing at least 3 other dragons, I believe.
3 other dragons? Oh, okay. So you'd probably want House Targaryen sleeves playing that deck.
Yes, of course. We have to have 3 dragons. I don't think eggs qualify. You have to be a full-fledged dragons, and therefore costs like 5 or more. Or be a Dragon Whelp. I think Dragon Whelp is also an acceptable tribute for them. Anyways, so...
We went on really long with that one.
Well, sometimes you have to fill up time.
Yeah.
You have to fill up time while players are sideboarding, making decisions. It's limited, so there's not very much sideboard discussion to be had. We've touched on the Scouring Sands, and I have a feeling that's pretty much all that could realistically happen.
Yeah, if
The Coastline Chimera as well.
Felix wanted to go super deep, he could have boarded in an Offline Unicorn, and he has a few
yeah, that's not happening.
Titan of Eternal Fire? Come on, think about that. He
all
already
right.
has Cavalry
All right.
Pegasus. There's a lot of synergy going on there.
Good input, I
Some
guess.
people just lack the testicular fortitude to go deep on that third splash.
I would say lack the reason to stop themselves. But
Yeah, you see,
sometimes people like splashing additional colors.
tomato, tomato.
Tomato. Adding their colors with splash comments.
Splash commons. No mana fixing lands.
Sometimes you gotta go deep. He had sources, yeah. It wasn't the worst. It was probably questionable, but
Yeah.
we won't lay into Omar any further for his
just-
deck building mistake.
He's just
in
standing
his-
here glaring at us.
Matt taking his sweet time. I guess he is going to make some sideboard decisions. I would be disappointed if after all this time he did not add anything into his main deck.
Yeah. So, where's this Pro Tour being held at M15?
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
I've been preparing for it so far by watching Portlandia religiously.
Portland. Okay.
It's a comedy sketch show.
How is it?
It's okay.
Out of 10, what do you give it?
7.
7? That's pretty good.
It has its moments, but overall it's not really consistently funny. There's some sketches that are just like, okay. Yeah, we get it that the hipsters in Portland are stupid. We get it. Like, and these other ones are just hysterical. So there's a balance in between.
All right. What's the constructed format for that Pro Tour? Is it standard?
It is standard.
Standard full. the biggest standard possible.
It is.
Both core sets, both two full
It's
sets.
not the biggest standard possible. There was a point where you could have a time spiral block with the time shifted sets, which added a lot to the
Have you-
initial time spiral, and cold snap.
Were you playing
Made
back
for like
then?
a 50 set standard. I played that standard, yes.
Yeah, it was sweet.
It was pretty crazy. There were a lot of cards.
Yeah, a lot of crazy decks.
A lot of options.
I remember people even going as far as playing like things like Core Lash, aggro, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of sweet stuff going on. So it's very interesting.
There's a
least
Tron, Wildfire.
Yeah, at least I enjoyed it. Whatever.
I cast a lot of Wildfires in that format, either
Yeah.
from Tron decks or Magnivore decks.
Oh man, Magnivore decks. I never really played competitively at that point, but I remember proxying up a Magnivore deck with black and white printouts from my high school
Excellent.
that I cut up during classes and got in trouble for once. But I still remember, like, it ended up in a box of just really old cards, and every time I ended up looking through that for cards that like random modern commons that ended up being like $3, I would see those printouts again and be like really nostalgic for a Magnivore deck. I want to do it again.
Did you
like,
ever
turn to Eye of Nowhere?
Exactly. Like, when did I roll Eye of Nowhere? How do you win?
Yeah, exactly. Annex.
Annexing lands. Avalanche Riders came on Time Spiral.
Yeah, that deck was fantastic.
I remember one time I had the game plan of Avalanche Riders and Desert against all the Zoo Watchwolf decks.
So strong. I miss old standard formats. This one's okay. It's very like Thoughtseize Mutavault dominated.
Yeah.
Even when you're playing like an Esper control deck, you're still like, all right, we got 2 Mutavault,
It's,
one or 2 piece Thoughtseize.
it's like, how'd you lose Control Mirror? Mutavault beat down. Oh,
Yeah, so-
sweet.
I got Thoughtseize and Duress 3 times, and then I got beat down by Mutavaults.
Yeah.
Attrition's good.
At least it's not Pack Rat dominated anymore. That was the worst.
Every other game is just lost or won by back right.
Yeah.
The Temple of Enlightenment completely changed that, which is pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Meant the mono blue deck got to play Detention Sphere, and suddenly it had a reliable answer to Pack Rat.
Yeah, and
Didn't have to rely on like, what was the card called?
Yeah, it worked like a 9 to 5.
The 1-mana kill it, make it 3/3.
rapid hybridization.
Didn't have to rely on like rapid hybridizationing the first one. That was your out.
Give you 3/3, get
Yeah.
beat down.
Or like
Awesome.
overload Cyclonic Rift.
Yeah, like you ever made it that
Yeah,
far.
like you had to play like you play Nykthos as like your 25th colorless land.
Yeah.
Just good luck casting your triple blue on turn 3. So Matt is going to 6, or scrying really deep for 0 mana on turn 1. Either cheating or going to 6. After tanking for a very long time. Clearly the hand was almost a keep. You might hear about that one later. Felix keeps the 7. Both players starting with 7 cards in this game. Or, sorry, never mind. Felix is starting with
Yeah, Matt's going down
8
to 6
cards.
here.
Matt is starting with 6. Math is fairly hard. Interpreting +1 on which side can't handle it.
It's, that's why there's math wizards and number scientists out there in the world.
I call them calculators. I'm just wiping the dirt off that play, man.
Got to make sure it's nice and pristine still. Like we're just on the first round of the PTQ. Well, the top 8.
Well, we used these in the first round of the PTQ, so maybe these are the reused mats. They've been
Also
played
played
on
on
once. Played on once. Excited to see game 2. I really like Matt's deck, so I hope it can.
So if
hope
you're
it can
Matt,
perform.
what are you hoping you see in these 6?
2-drop, 3-drop, burn spells. He does not have the blue tempo spells, which is what these decks often end up lacking, unfortunately.
Now watch me, man.
There's entire drafts where you just don't see like a Void Descend,
A Grip Tide.
a Grip Tide, or like
Yeah.
what they really want is like a Sudden Storm. Card's so good when you actually have aggro. So Matt has not fulfilled the first part of it, and he does not have mana for.
2-job.
Well, like, if he had red, he would have played it in case he has
Yeah.
a 3rd red and the
Bolt of
Bolt of
Keranos.
Keranos. So this is probably going to be really bad for Matt, as Felix does have a 2-drop. Felix really needs to start with the 2-drop.
Orsco Sun Guide.
Matt tanking there, so probably to represent what's it called?
Stymied Hopes.
Stymied
perhaps?
Hopes, yeah.
Yeah.
Just wrong. He does have a good blocker there. Felix will have to use like a Battle-Wise Valor or something to push through here. Or just make another play. Hope Matt doesn't block, make another play. Although if I was Matt, I would definitely want to force the combat trade.
And he knows what's Battle-Wise Valor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a pretty good trade.
It's a good tempo for Matt. It brings him back into it. I mean, Felix is ahead on board, but it forces Felix to not have a play this turn.
Yeah.
And instead to like waste his turn on scrying.
But also from Felix's point of view, Wet Crash Triton
Can very easily devastate his plans. So
misses his 3rd land drop, so he fourth land drop, I mean. Maybe
No, he doesn't. It's only his turn 3.
Something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A follow-up of the ill-tempered giant for Matt. 3/3 can easily become a 6/6.
Felix up to 22 from that Sun Guy trigger.
Always comes up later. Card's very good.
Alright, so we got a Aquarian Skyguard and a Pass Back.
Follows up with the Skyguard. That's a good card.
Yeah.
Both players are hitting their land drops, so at least we've got that. Matt bestowing a Nimbus Knight on it. Gonna suddenly get aggressive in the air, I guess. Unless Felix has... Does Felix have an answer? Are there answers to this?
I don't think so.
Not a 2, I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, not 2 mana. Alright, Matt's tanking on his attack. Probably doing some math here. The Sun Guide is what's making it really hard. It's hard to race that card since he's going to be Felix will gain 2 after every combat. He's only doing 3. But he opts the Bastion, dropping Felix down to 17, and passes back. Now, a card like Hopeful Eidolon, for instance, would completely trump this. Oh, it looks. Are we going to see a Hopeful Eidolon
Something that
on
costs
Skyguard?
more. Good
Yes,
call.
we are.
Good call, sir. Turning this math upside down. However, it's easy for Matt to just sit back with that unbeatable creature and do work.
Yeah.
I don't think Felix has many ways to actually deal with something that size in the air.
So,
He has a Snare Caster, but obviously it's only good for 1 try.
in 1
He
second,
has a Ray.
Felix went from 17 to Matt's 20 to going up to 20 against Matt's current 15.
Does Felix have a Ray in hand? It looks like he does.
think
Felix
he
has a
does.
So Ray in hand.
Yeah.
So he's going to be able to continue to punch through in the air here.
He's going to gain 2 more.
Assuming Matt
going up
does
to
not have a counterspell. He did not use a Dissolve this game. So it's possible that Felix is going to wait to bait it out.
20. Yeah.
There's something going on regarding drawing cards.
may
And
have
just
a-
call. I'm going to go and figure out what's going on here.
Alright. Yeah, so it looks like Matt may have wanted to have done something on the upkeep or in response to the Inspire trigger. Or maybe the Inspire trigger wasn't properly declared. We're going to find out in a second. But yeah, I don't think the 2 life's going to matter a whole lot. Like, Matt's not really the aggressor in this matchup. Especially with Hopeful Eidolon.
It was a mistrigger on Sun God.
Yeah, okay, so he's down to 20. Alright, so
Given
5.
that he proceeded to begin to draw his card and then called.
Yeah,
Did call Judge himself, though.
makes
so
sense.
No warning.
And Dissolve counters that 4/4 for 5.
No, it's good discipline from Felix playing another card before the Ray that lets him punch through damage again.
Yeah.
So it's very unlikely Matt's playing a high density of counterspells in this deck. So
Yeah, you can really only afford to play like 1 to 3 counterspells in this format.
yeah, I generally
even
just don't want to play any.
Yeah.
Dissolve is so awkward on tempo, and it's just not really what you want to be doing ever.
Yeah, like sometimes it's okay on the play. If you have an advantage, you get to secure it. But
Yeah, but it's
when
not,
you're on
it's
the
not
back
where you
foot,
want to be.
Yeah.
Great in late games, but again, not where you want to be. Rather it be a Void Designer Riptide.
Exactly. Or
thinking-
Sunstorm.
Yes, Sunstorm, so good, man. You always want Sunstorm.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about how that's all they wanted to open today was Sunstorms.
Exactly. Matt's just going to get in there, where that Felix probably has an answer.
Yeah. Felix will drop to 15. And Arbiter.
No,
that's
that is the Shipwreck Kraken.
Kraken.
If Matt gets 8 lands and Felix does not have an answer, and he doesn't, that is going to very quickly end the game.
Yeah. So,
I won a couple matches in Montreal with that card. It's pretty good.
oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
Say I was about to lose, I would draw Shipwreck Kraken and then draw land 7 and 8. And I won.
how close is it to Angel of Serenity in terms of ability to completely take over a game? About half of it? 7/10?
I never played an Angel Strategy.
You've never played an Angel of Serenity?
I played a lot of that format. I never opened an Angel Strategy.
I 5-0 a pre-release on the back of that card.
Obviously.
Draw 10 lines in a row, rip Angel.
Must be nice.
Well, you know.
1, 2, 3 damage in the air.
Excess consumption may cause laxative.
12 to 18 in Felix's favor.
No, I use your shit all day.
Alright, so what's... Matt has 2 cards in hand.
Yep. If Matt hits his land drops here, I don't really see how Felix is able to win this. Felix does not have any way to actually deal with that Shipwreck Kraken.
Yeah.
And I think Matt knows it. Although frequently in this situation, the blue player never draws their lands, so...
Yeah, instead they're just cursed with drawing actual spells,
Yeah.
right?
Did he go to pass? I think he went to pass the turn and then
Yeah.
got his Ray revelated.
I think I was hoping that Matt would consider attacking.
Yeah, and then
But
he
I
could
guess
actually
he
have a sick blowout there.
Yeah. But I guess
Although Matt wouldn't attack anyways. He wouldn't block because he has the
monstrous mana.
monstrous, right?
Yeah.
That's I know.
So Felix smashes in for 3, going up to 21 against what I assume is Matt's 9.
It should be correct. Got in there several times. I don't think we missed any points on Matt's side. And
Far.
very powerful.
Fire Swordman, okay.
It's doing a lot of work here. This time, and remember to end set monsters, this guy. That's good.
Yeah.
They
I remember he
entitled him
made that mistake earlier in the Swiss.
Yeah, he did not. Monsters Nemesis Immortals. It didn't matter. It was still an infinite.
Yeah.
So Matt's in a pretty good position where, like, if he draws a land, it's actually good.
Yeah. And
And if he draws a spell, it's a spell.
Yeah.
You can't really complain when you have a pair of 6/6s on board too. So
That's what
I mean, you are
Matt
taking 3 in the air, and Felix is at a prohibitively high life total, but I don't think you can really complain.
Mm-hmm.
As Warden does shut down anything very small, but Matt's like, nah, I got 6/6s. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
He's going in the tank though, so it looks like he has a lot of options. They are just spells, since he did not play a land last turn.
Yeah. So, pretty good place to be.
I don't think he can complain. Game is not secured for him though.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he had lands, definitely would be, but
He's just looking for like a Bolt of Keranos, so just a good blocker.
yeah, to be fair, curving to 8 is like pretty tough.
Yeah.
Bolt of Keranos probably doesn't do it because there's cards like Hunter's Resolve. He has a bunch of tricks that basically
Yeah.
blank the Bolt of Keranos.
For sure.
So
But he's got to have it in hand, and I think he's down to 1 card.
it's Mortal's Resolve. There's 2 Mortals. Like he has 4 of these 2-mana combat tricks that save
Yeah.
him. So
And I think he has a God's Willing in there as well.
he does not have a God's Will.
No God's Willing?
It's unfortunate because that would actually let him win through the Kraken
Yeah.
potentially. In response to the trigger, obviously. Does not untap it.
Now Matt's considering an attack, which, oh no. Obviously you always want to look for ways to, bring your opponent to 0, but, like, he's so clearly the control deck, like,
Yeah, it may be very dangerous for Matt to attack here
yeah.
at any point during this kind of situation.
You just want to keep as many blockers back as possible, minimize his offensive abilities, draw the game out so you can iterate, land drop, nuke the board.
Although on the other hand, there might be a situation where he actually wants to race, given that it's going to be very difficult for him, but given that Felix does have a 3-turn clock on him in the air.
Yeah.
And if Matt does not hit his land drops, he's not going to be able to deal with that, and it's possible he can push through damage. He does have 12 power in play.
True.
So, and 6 of it is trample, and that is quite good.
Yeah.
And if he does have gas in hand, then it's very likely
Though,
he's able to do something.
It's really hard to race against Hopeful Eidolon and Sun Guide, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But if he has another play on the ground, then he can block the Sun Guide fairly easily.
True.
The concern is also that Felix can very easily make this into a 2-turn clock in the air,
Yeah.
given that a single Battle-Wise Valor just turns it very
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it speeds up the kill,
and
the kill
sinks
by
very
1
quickly.
turn.
Looks like he's a Chorus of the Skies, the 3/2 flyer.
Yeah.
So that's quite good here.
Snapping Drake with Heroic Scry 1.
Yeah, sorry, Dirk, yeah. Card's actually quite good in this format. He's considering just playing that and passing.
Yeah.
Can't really tell what the other 2 cards in his hand are.
Throwing
right
it
now.
in front of a Crown Skyguard, Trick or No.
Yeah, forces a trick out. Although I assume Felix does have it. Felix has a lot of cards in hand and 1
Oh
Battle-Wise
no,
Valor
he's
in
going
graveyard.
for a different play.
Oh, the Felhide Spirit Binder.
Inspired Kiki Jiki.
Yeah. He might not have the Chorus in hand. It might be a different card. I'm not so sure about
I
this.
think it was Course of the Tide. He might be going for making a
It's possibly something way sweeter to do.
yeah.
Felix looks like he has a bunch of lands in hand. That would be an unfortunate way to end this game. Gets in there with the Spirit Binder. Not Spirit Binder, it's been a long day.
Skyguard?
Yeah, the Skyguard. Forgetting all the card names as they're right in front of me.
All right, so 24-6 in favor of Felix.
Passes the turn.
Tanks makes it look
Felix
like he has
does
an option.
have 3 lands in hand.
Yeah,
That is not where he wants to be.
he's trying to represent tricks, but you know
Yeah.
if he had them, he probably would have turned everything sideways. But you gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, I didn't want to blow everything into a Voyage's End there. Matt was representing it.
Yeah. Even if you're hypothetically bluffing the fact you have tricks, you
If Matt had the 3/2, why wouldn't he have played it last turn and went for the block then? I guess he's just trying to bait land drops, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, that seems like a.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
As far as words in
Good
play.
card.
And he doesn't want to. He played that because he doesn't want. Yeah, obvious reasons. Doesn't want to get the inspired.
It's been a
trigger
long
off on
day.
it.
Yeah.
Very reasonable. So did Felix draw it? He did not. So it basically comes down to whether or not Matt draws his 8th land. Unless he has something else sweet in his hand.
Yeah.
Or Felix has also something sweet. That's not really that sweet.
Stoneshard Warrior.
It's alright. We'll accept it. Locks down 4 cards.
Is that 4?
It's 4.
Wow, yeah.
It's like actually game ending.
Yeah, I thought it was 3. I was comparing a Tangent of Serenity.
Regardless, you still win.
Yeah, like it'd
So
be.
does Matt hit his 8th land?
Like I think you have a very, very
That's the big
small
question
chance
here.
if it taps 3.
He is windmilling that, and
I think he-
yeah, he would.
He
He's milking the camera.
disappointedly drew a spell.
It's the only time you really want to draw your 8th land.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume he would have slammed it if it was a land. Just tapped out and gone to town. Or he's slow rolling us. He's tapping 4, tanking about it, playing another land.
Oh, Coastline Chimera.
Another flyer, but that's not enough. Just has to tap down both the flyers, and that's game.
Indeed.
Barring something sweet, looks like Felix Tse will be advancing to the semis. Does he have it? Taps it down.
He might even turn.
Swings in. And that's the match. Felix advances. Yes, obviously the 8th land is not. Or is that not the 8th
It was
land?
the 8th land.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
safe
yeah,
land.
of course.
Obviously, yeah.
Is that what's that in his hand? Is that the 5/3?
Yeah.
5/3
oh,
surrender artifact?
Wild
Wild Celebrants?
Celebrants,
Interesting. All right, well, congrats to Felix as he pushes through to the semis.
That Afaro's
Yeah.
warning was actually just the same.
Yeah, if Ars Warden was surprised, I was talking trash, but it was very good that game. It locked down the air. Unsurprising, I guess.
Yeah, and
a
for-
lot of the
Card
flyers are
quality
fairly
was
small.
pretty low in the draft, so-
Yeah, apparently the card. Yeah, I'm not sure if Omar was audible on the mic there, but apparently the card quality of the draft was fairly low. So we're gonna see a lot of decks jamming cards like Afaris Warden, hopefully to some level of effect. So we'll see you guys next round.
All right.